So it's
All right.
recording now.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys. So super, super excited. Thank you to everyone who is on. Super excited. It's April 12th. Can you guys already believe it's already the middle of April? And it is crazy how fast this year is going. I feel like the older I get, the more like the faster time goes. And so I remember when time used to just kind of take forever. But we're super excited because we have Ariel who's going to be speaking to us this evening. And whenever she's on, she always like just hits it out the park. And so I'm super excited. I have my notebook here ready to take notes. Just a couple quick announcements, guys. So next week, some of us are going to be in Mexico. Super excited for the Success Club trip. We're going to be sharing, look at our, watch our stories. We are going to be having a sneak peek next week. Okay, so starting on the 18th. So what does that mean? That means start promoting now and start inviting now and letting people know. We're going to have a kind of like a behind the scenes. It's going to, instead of being one day, we'll do it over a couple of days while we are there. Since all of us that are on the team that are going, we're all going to be there at the same time. So it'll start on the 18th so that they can see us prepping and getting excited and getting ready for the trip. We're going to talk about the business opportunity throughout the days that we're there, while also showing the community. So if you want to participate and help out, we would love it. The ways that you can help out are by just sharing your stories, sharing your before and afters, letting us know why you became a coach in the format of a post. We want to hear all of your stories because you never know, maybe someone that we can, that is interested in joining our team would be interested in hearing your story. And so just really think about that, okay? So we're going to be doing a behind the scenes coaching sneak peek next week. Another announcement, guys, the beach bars are here. So very, very excited. And so how many of you have tried the beach bars? Really, really awesome. There I see Denise with it. Super awesome. They're super yummy. And so guys, these are snack bars, okay? And I just want to kind of emphasize that, because don't call them strictly protein bars, even though I know people call Kind bars protein bars and Lara bars protein bars, but really just understanding that these are snack bars, because they're not, we can't compare it to like a Quest bar, which is a protein bar. And so just really keeping that in mind as you're talking to people and talking about it more, that it's more of a snack bar as opposed to a protein bar, because I just don't want someone to come and say, well, how many grams of protein does it have compared to this protein bar that has 30 grams of protein? You're going to say, well, it doesn't compare. But for the snack bar competition, in the snack bar market, it does compare rather competitively. So make sure that you guys are getting boxes yourself so that you can try them. You can have your own experience. They're great gifts to give to your challengers. When someone buys a challenge pack from you or a fitness program from you, really a great opportunity for you to be able to see, to be able to share one of our new products. All right, those are all my announcements. And so Ariel, I'm super excited to hear what you have to say. I'm going to send it over to you and let you take over.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I'm super excited about the beach bars. I tried one today after my workout and I legitimately wanted to eat the entire box. I was like, do I really have to stop after one right now? But I am on the depletion week for 80-day obsession and I'm sticking true to it. So I only had my one as my post-workout meal and then moved on. So they're going to be my post-workout meal from now on with my 10 baby carrots, because I got that part down. But I'm super excited to talk to you guys tonight. When thinking about this call, I was kind of like, well, Stephanie, I already talked about Instagram and I've shared all my Instagram secrets. I really don't know what to talk about. And so I talked to some of the other coaches on the team and decided that I'd talk to you guys a little bit about inviting into Success Club points. And what I mean by that is sending out invites, and when you're inviting, with Success Club points in the back of your mind, and how I've been inviting to have such high Success Club numbers over the past 3 months. I'm on 3-month streak of over Success Club 10, and I'm going to have a 4th month of over Success Club 10. I am bound determined, no matter how much work it takes, I'm going to get there. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys, and I've just got to do the little share screen thing. All right. So Getting started with inviting. So when I am talking about inviting, I do a lot of inviting, you guys. This is kind of like scratching the surface with the inviting that I do. And I'm going to try really hard to break every one of these down as I go for you guys, because there is a lot. And if you look at my Instagram message feed, it's insane. And I'm going to show you guys how I kind of keep track of that, because I have gotten some people who have reached out to me and they're like, Ariel, how in the world are you keeping track of all of these people that you're messaging and talking to? And so I'm going to show you guys a little bit on how I keep track of it. It's not the best. I'm going to put that out there. Like, this is just Ariel in her own little world when it comes to tracking. But I always start off with whenever someone starts following me, or I start following them, when I go out and seek followers right now, as many of you guys know, my whole market is bride and bride-to-be and wedding and all the fun things that come with being engaged. And with that, I am finding that I am following so many brides-to-be. Everybody's getting engaged every day, I feel like. Every time I get on to the I said yes, or she said yes, or he asked, or he finally popped the question, all those hashtags, there's someone new every single day. And it's really exciting. But at the same time, that's a lot of people, and it's a lot of follows that are happening, and I don't want anybody to get lost. And so what I do is when I start following someone is when my inviting starts. So I will follow someone, and then once I click follow on their profile, I will go through and I'll like some of their pictures. Like, I'll spend like a good minute or two on their profile, scrolling through a little bit, finding pictures that I can relate to, and then I just leave a comment on them. Anywhere, I like to stick to the 4 words, but sometimes it can be a little hard just because I don't know this person 100%, but I like to leave a couple comments on a couple different pictures, always being their engagement picture. Whenever they put on that, it's always, congratulations, welcome to the wedding planning world. I'm so excited to see the beautiful bride that you'll be. And something along those lines. And then I do the same thing for my Disney followers and my runner followers, because I do still follow a lot of runners and I still follow a lot of people from Disney. I always will go through and like a couple pictures and then leave a couple comments just to show them that I'm not here just to follow you. I'm not here just to boost my Instagram followers. I am here because I want to be here and I want to be your friend. And so once I do that and once I follow them, then if they comment back, I'll try to see what they say, and I might have a little bit of a conversation with them through comments, but then I leave it at that. That's what I mean by kind of I wouldn't even call it my warm inviting or seed planting. I just do that as my hey, this is me and this is who I am. Come check out my profile and see what I'm all about, and let's get to chit-chatting. And so then what I do is anytime someone comments on one of my posts or message me on my story, or I see someone, if you guys watch your little bubbles and click on your little bubbles on the Instagram stories, if I see someone who's watched my story throughout the entire day, because sometimes I'll get a little crazy, especially when I'm procrastinating a workout, I get a little crazy on Instagram stories. And so if someone's watched all the way through that, I send them this message of, hey girl, I saw you watched my last video. I wanted to take a moment and thank you so much for the support. It absolutely means the world to me. Please know if there's anything else I can do to help you. And they get that message from me, and it starts just a great conversation and allows me to just get the word out there and get to talking to people and getting the seed planted that I'm here. And then I go through and do that same for my likes on my photos. So anytime someone likes my pictures, I go through and I send them the message of the, hey girl, thanks for showing me the love on my post. And you guys are going to find, you're probably thinking but I get 100 or 200 likes every single day on my pictures, or maybe it's not that much. Maybe it is 50 to 60 likes, or even, you know what I mean, anywhere in that range. If you look, a lot of times, a lot of those followers are going to be the same people. Because when I first saw Stephanie talk about this idea, I was like, Stephanie, you're crazy. Most of my pictures are averaging anywhere from 150 likes to I have a picture that had almost 2,000 likes on it. And I'm like, there is no way I have the time nor the energy to go through every single day and send messages to people thanking them for liking these pictures. And then what I found is that those people who are truly really following me are the people that are liking my pictures every single day. And obviously I'm not going to send this message to them every single day. So I just send this message to someone new who has liked my picture for the first time. And so when they've liked my picture for the first time, this is the message that I send them. And again, just warmly welcoming them, planting a seed of just like, hey, I'm here. This is me. Check out my page. And I leave it at that. And let them give me some feedback. I love getting feedback from what people like and what they don't like on my page. I run with that. That's like money for me. And so then I'll go through and I'll watch some people's stories, and I'll message them. If it's something that I can relate to, I try really hard to message them just about whatever their story is. Right now, a lot of my runner friends are headed out to Boston to run the marathon on Monday, and I'm super, super jealous. But I've been making sure that I go through and congratulate all of them and wish them the best of luck while running, because I do have so many runners that are in my groups, and that is part of my avatar. And so I want to make sure that I'm still putting the warm invite and planting that seed with them so that they remember me and come and check my page out. And then if the time comes, then they're ready there for to join my journey. And then from that point, I go into hard inviting. So a lot of times, I try once, sometimes twice. It just really depends. Over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be going twice, 3 times a week. I'll be doing hard inviting. And what I mean by hard inviting is I will straight go and post a transformation picture, either on my story or on my page. And if they like it, or if they comment on it, if they like it, they're getting this message about, hey, I saw that you liked my last post about the challenge group. Thank you for the support. Just seeing if you wanted to show the support or if you'd like more information. And you guys, this message honestly has been huge for me. Because a lot of times people are super scared and super reluctant to actually reach out to you for help. I know that for me, it was a huge ordeal when I reached out and asked for help and asked to join Beachbody. Like, I was embarrassed. I did not want to be the person that had to reach out for help, but I did. And so I come from a point of understanding why someone might not reach out to me. And so instead I reach out to them. And so anytime someone likes my transformation picture or likes a picture that I have about a coaching event or about a challenge group event, I send them one of these 2 messages. And again, this is something that Stephanie had talked about, and I was overwhelmed at first, but then soon realized that, again, it comes down to a lot of those people, a lot of those likes are people that are constantly liking my pictures, that this is going to go to those new people who have liked my pictures. And so they get this. Now, if they comment on my picture, they get a different message. They get a, hey, I saw that you were interested in my next challenge group. I'm so excited. Let's talk about your health and fitness goals, because they're reaching out to me. So when they're reaching out to me, at that point, it's okay, now let's talk. Tell me about yourself. Tell me who you are, what gets you going, what your goals are, how can I help you? And so then I sit and we talk a lot about what it is that their health and fitness goals are, and then go from there. And then if they vote on my story. So on my Instagram story, I try to do a lot of polls, or a lot of message me, or a lot of swipe up to go to links that I set up. And so if they if they vote yes, and I kind of have a sneaky way, I guess if you want to call it, I wouldn't even call it sneaky, because it's really not, it's just giving them 2 options, but I will put, yes, girl, send me more details, or help, I really need help, or something along those lines, where it's not a yes or no, it's a, you want help. And so you're going to choose one of these options, and every single person who clicks it will get a message. And sometimes they'll be like, well, I thought that was no. And it's like, well, the poll didn't say no, but I appreciate you for watching my stories. I appreciate you for following me. Like, let's move on. But I do put that on there just because I am finding that a lot of times that even those people who maybe are clicking the no on the poll, actually do want more information. And the more I start talking to them, and the more I find out about their health and fitness goals, we're finding something to meet their health and fitness needs or their health and fitness goals. And so I come from a point of like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm like trying to break the rules or something like that, because it's totally not what I'm doing. But again, it's giving them the two options, but both funneling into the fact that you're going to get a message from me. And so then from there, I'll also go to the swipe up feature that I have for the link that I have, and it's just a Google form that people fill out, and I'll go through, and those people again get a hard invite email, just, hey girl, I saw that you wanted some more information. On the actual form that I have them fill out, it says like what their health and fitness goals are, so I'll be like, based on what you told me, here are some recommendations for you. Let's talk. Let's answer some questions that you have. I really look forward to talking more. So it's not a super lengthy email, but it is an email addressing kind of their goals and what they're wanting, because they've already told me like, yes, this is something that I want to do. And same thing if they were to send me a message. So that's what I do for my hard inviting. And then following up. So this is like the big part. Excuse me, because most of the people that I message, it takes about 2 or 3 messages for them to actually start talking. And so after 2 days after I send them a message, and they've said like, yes, I want some more information, and I've sent the message with the information that they were seeking. If I don't hear anything from them in 2 days, I just send them a quick message like, hey girl, I just wanted to see how everything was going. I wanted to see if you had any more questions for me, or if you're ready to get started. And then if I don't hear anything after that, I usually start to take it as a hint of like, hey, I'm not like talking, or I'm not really interested, or I'm not sure right now. And so I leave it. I don't message them anymore until about a week before I go to start my challenge group. And then a week before I go to start my challenge group, I send them this message that, hey, beautiful, I'm working on closing up this month's challenge group and wanted to see if you wanted that's supposed to say into it before it closes. I know that we've talked in the past, and I really don't want you to miss an opportunity that has forever changed my life since you were thinking about joining, or if you were thinking about joining. And so I send them that message. And if I don't get something back after this message, then I just straight take them off my customers list. That to me is a no. That is a, hey, I'm good. Like, you sent me the information. I've followed up with you twice now. And so at that point, I'm going to leave you alone. I'm not here to be a crazy salesperson. I'm not here to annoy you. I am simply here to help you. And if you don't want to talk to me, then that is completely fine. I am okay with that. We can still be friends. No harm, no foul. And so then the day before the group opens, anybody who's messaged me back after this message, if they haven't said anything, I just say, hey, quick reminder, my group is closing tomorrow. This is kind of your last chance if you want to get into this month's group. After that, I will be closing enrollment, and we'll have to wait until next month's open. And that one, I get like a couple here and there, but it's not anything like super huge. Usually it's to the point where they're already enrolled, or they're not interested in enrolling. And so with my following up, this is how I do it. So this might look a little crazy, and you're like, holy smokes, there are a lot of colors, there are a lot of columns going on, but this is what I do. So anytime I talk to someone, whether it's Facebook or on Instagram, most of the time you can get their first and last name off Instagram. And so if you type it into your messages when you've been talking to them, it will pull up their Instagram handle. However, some people don't have their Instagram handle on there, they don't have their name with their Instagram handle. So that's why you'll see some parentheses with Instagram handle names, just so I know who that person is. But what I do is, once they've sent me a message and said, hey, I want more information, I will then send them more information, and they automatically go into my follow-up list. And then from there, their color changes based on what they do. So if we've followed up, I've sent them more information and we need to talk, they're one color. If they've committed, they're another color. Sometimes I will, so if you look right here, the comment on picture, if they've asked for more information, they've commented on picture, I'll plug them in here. And then I go through and I put our first initial contact date, excuse me, when I first followed up with them, that second follow-up, and then if they join, and this is more so just for me to kind of learn and gauge off of, for just like personal weird math reasons. There's not really any information, like reason on that, other than I like the first and second follow-up, just because that kind of like, instead of having to scroll through all my Instagram messages or my Facebook messages, I can just simply see when was the last time I followed up with them, how close am I to my group being done, and I can message them off that. But then once they've enrolled, they go into my bright pink color, or I guess my rosy pink color. And then if they're into the coach's sneak peek, I put them in the brighter pink color. And that just helps me distinguish like where people are at in the process versus like having to try to have a whole bunch of different categories and having a whole bunch of different Excel spreadsheets. This just allows me to put everything, and then I have my colors and I know what my colors are for. Sorry, that's my cat. My office is being remodeled, so I'm in the living room. And so this just allows me to keep everything on track. And again, this is how I'll do my follow-ups. And so I'll go through here, and if they, I even have filled out questionnaire on Instagram. So like that gets a color. And then this way it just helps me stay on track with who I've talked to, who I need to follow up with. And this is where when I'm struggling in the month, like I just sat today actually and went through, and everybody on this list who hadn't joined yet got a follow-up message from me. If there wasn't a hard no, or like if I knew that this was like a no-go, they actually got a follow-up message from me today. And so then that leading into Success Club points. So when I send out my invite, I basically just spell it all out. So when they say yes, they want more information, and I have a little bit about their health and fitness goals, I always, you guys, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I always promote the mega and the combo pack, or the best and better package first. And here's why. I truly believe that if you are really, really looking to change your life and you're really wanting to get into the health and fitness goals that you told me that you wanted to get into, then here's a great thing for you to get started with and get to try pretty much everything that you would need during your health and fitness journey all at once and save a ton of money for it. Personally, this is something that I wanted when I signed up versus having to buy just the month of Shakeology and one workout. Like this allows you your year of streaming, plus you get your pre-workout recover, Shakeology, and equipment. So I always like to start off with that. Again, as long as it aligns with their health and fitness goals. So if someone tells me like, I'm just looking for some sort of detox, like I have a trip coming up and I just really want to lose some weight before I go on my trip, well then we're going to talk about the 3-day refresh, or we're going to talk about the ultimate reset. We're not going to talk about these challenge packs, because those also are challenge packs as well. Or for a lot of my runners, they'll just tell me like, hey, I'm just looking for like a good pre-workout before I go on my runs and something for afterwards, because my legs are just so tired afterwards. I'm looking for something after my runs. And so we'll just talk about the performance line. And that's something that I think we all sometimes need to remember, is not everybody needs a challenge pack. Not everybody needs the 80-day obsession or the 21-day fix. Like not everybody needs that. And so if we really are listening to what they're telling us when it comes to their health and fitness goals, then we can really align something, because let's face it, Beachbody has literally everything you can need when it comes to your health and fitness. We could align something to meet it. And the fact that the performance line and Ironman are together, like super awesome. That, you guys, is super cool. I don't know if you guys are Ironman fans, but it's really cool when you watch the finish line pictures and you watch the finish line video of these triathletes coming down the finish chute and you see Beachbody Performance lining it, like the big logo. Like for me, that's like, yes, like this is something I stand behind, and this is something that I can tell my runner friends about. And when I show them pictures and when I show them the video of that, they get excited. And so just remembering that everybody's different, and not everybody needs a challenge pack, or not everybody needs like the 80-day obsession, because there was a long time where that's the only goal I had. Like, I need Success Club points. I need challenge packs. Challenge packs are the only way that I'm going to get there. Like, no other way is going to get me there. But hey, if they should sign up for just a month of Shakeology on HD, or the performance line on HD, or am I missing one, Stephanie? 3-day refresh maybe on HD. I don't, sorry. I just know those two off the top of my head really quick right now. But if they do those, then that's a Success Club point for you. And remember, it's Success Club 5. So if you do 2 challenge packs and a Shakeology, there's your Success Club 5. Or you do 5 performance lines or 5 Shakeologies, whatever it may be. But just remember that, like, not everything needs to be a challenge pack. And so that's why I always start off with that. And then when I send this and I send the like best and better, and I'm recommending those, I always let my customer know, my potential challenger, my potential coach, hey, this is what I recommend because you're going to get the most bang for your buck. You're going to be able to try everything out at once, figure out what works for you, and then continue on with what works well for you and what works well for your body, and not have to go out and experiment anymore. This is just one big experiment for you, wrapped up in a nice tiny package. And if this isn't budget friendly, if we need to remove some stuff, if we need to make this more friendly for your budget, then let's talk about that. We can add stuff, we can remove stuff, and we can make this fit you, your goals, and your budget. And I'm finding that a lot of people are opening up to me and like, hey, like, that's actually really cool, but I think I need to go with a good, or I think I need to just start off right now with a year membership with Beachbody On Demand, or I just want to start off with the 3-day refresh, or whatever it may be that they just want to start out with. That's great. I'm finding that a lot of my customers who started out in January with just the Beachbody On Demand, that they're actually now getting the performance line. They're getting Shakeology, and they're like, I should have just bit the bullet when I started this and done everything at once, but I was really nervous about that. And so just remember that when it comes to your Success Club points. And I know I just got off on a little rant there, but I got really excited about that. But that's how I start. So I always start with those 2 big ones, and then I break it down from there. And so just remember when you're talking to someone about signing up, and when you're inviting someone, don't be afraid to be like, here, just flat out, you guys, like, I think it's like my 3rd or 4th message when we're talking, depending on where we're at in the conversation. Sometimes it comes a little bit later, and sometimes it comes a little bit earlier, but usually 3rd, 4th message that I'm sending to the person is the price, because that's what they're worried about. They want to know. They know it's not something that's free. Some of them do, and I don't know why they think that, but it happens. And so we talk about the price, and I always just make sure, like, this is, again, what I suggest for you based off what you've told me, but this doesn't have to be the ultimate package that you do. We can make something work. And so just keep that in your mind when you're inviting, like, just lay it all out there, because I'm finding that people are more prone to want to talk to you when they don't feel like you're hiding something from them. And so for a while, when I was inviting people, I'd always like do the like place the price at the very end, like write a long message about everything they get and all these awesome benefits that they get, and then place the price at the end. And I was finding that it was coming across very like sales oriented, and that's not what we're about. And so I started changing it, and I started putting it like, here's the price. This is the price for what you're asking me. Again, these are all the things. And then I list out all the things that they can get. And then again, that nice little message at the bottom, like, we can make this friendly for your budget if one of these doesn't fit it. And I'm finding, like, again, a lot of times people are really okay with the basic or the combo because they're understanding the value that they get with it. So just remember that when you're inviting, to not be afraid to talk about the price. Don't be afraid to talk about what's included, because people are going to understand, especially when they know coming into it that it's going to cost some money. And a lot of times people are actually surprised when I tell them, like, especially for this month, when I tell them like the combo is $220 for those of you that are in the United States. they're like, oh, that's like a crazy good deal. And yeah, it is. It's an amazing deal. But that's how I've been doing it. That's how I've been inviting. That's how I've led to all the Success Club points that I've had so far this year, and will continue to have throughout the year. And I just want you guys to all remember that we're here to help them with their health and fitness goals. We're not here to just be a Success Club point and to earn that Success Club trip and to earn the free t-shirts and the webinars and the books. That we're here to just help people with their health and fitness goals. And that if we are inviting them, if we're warm welcoming them before we're hard inviting them, unless they ask us to hard invite them, and we're just kind of being vulnerable and laying it all out on the line for them when they're looking to sign up, that you're gonna find success with it. It's just about that consistency. I know that we're always talking about it's about that consistency piece, but if you're consistent with it, then you're gonna find success. And that's all I have for you guys tonight. I kind of went through that really, really fast. So.
That was awesome. Ariel, and can you just, because I think some of them don't recall from the first call, but just remind, like, I just want you guys to know that Ariel, like, kind of took, like, a little break last year.
A long break.
So for those of you who you feel like you're kind of like, you know, knowing that, you know, how much now have you made since starting, since you said, you know what, I'm going to commit to this and give this the effort that it deserves?
Yeah, so I looked today and I'm over $3,500 since starting back up in January.
Yeah, so that's amazing. That's amazing. And she's using that to pay for her honeymoon. Her goal when we met was to pay for her honeymoon with Beachbody money. And so that was, you know, that's really awesome. And so just the fact, like I said, the aggressive, like she said, you know, that aggressive, just really reaching out and building. And really forming relationships and doing that reach out. And it takes time. Like, and even for me, it's overwhelming. I like what you said, Ariel. I never thought, clearly you could tell that I'm still not fully doing it, but it's what you said about how, you know, after time and you know, if you're following up with the same people, you're going to notice the same people following you. So you don't necessarily always have to send them, you know, that message of just like, hey, how are you? Thank you so much for liking my post. You're really sending that out to the new people. Mm-hmm. And so that's definitely something that even for me, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. And that seems much more manageable. And so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, again, like, I think it also takes like a big mind shift change of you need to be okay with them telling you no. And it is not the end of the world when they tell you no, because I guess since you brought my little story up, I can give you guys kind of a little bit of a backstory about me, because I've been doing coaching in November, it'll be 4 years that I've been a Beachbody coach. And when I started, I was in school and just was pretty much a discount coach. And if my friends signed up and I got a little bit of gas money, I was super excited about that. And then I graduated and didn't really know what I wanted to do. And so I played with Beachbody a little bit, and I ended up going on the trip last year to the Dominican Republic. And I just remember August. I don't know why I can only remember August, but there was an August the year after I started that's when my mind shift changed. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do Beachbody full time. I'm going to make this my full-time goal. And when I did that, all I was doing was we were on a call with, her name's Kristen. I don't remember her last name, but she's she's one of the elite coaches, and she was on here and she had sent us a script that she had used, and it was really long, you guys. It was a really long script, and some people even told me, like, this is ridiculously long. Like, why are you sending this to people? But that's all I just wanted to hit Success Club, and that's all I wanted to do. Like, I didn't think about anything else other than hitting Success Club points. So I took her script and I sent it to everybody on my friends list. Like, literally every single person that was my friend on Facebook and Instagram got the same message. And I hit Success Club 14 that month, but then that was it. I didn't ever hit Success Club 14 again until January of this year. I didn't even come close to Success Club 10 after that until January of this year. And that was because all I was doing was sending the same message, and I wasn't getting to know people. I wasn't commenting on their pictures. I wasn't liking their pictures. I wasn't doing anything proactively to have them engage with me. I wasn't ever posting on my stories. I was just posting sweaty selfie after sweaty selfie after sweaty selfie on my Instagram page. There was nothing that was really relatable to my posts. There wasn't anything really relatable other than if you were in health and fitness, then cool, you liked my Instagram. But if it wasn't for that, then I wasn't going to post anything. And so that's when like I just got really, really discouraged. And then my coach went away. And because I hadn't had much success with the script, I just thought, this isn't for me. And so I dabbled with it a little bit before going to Punta Cana just to make sure that I hit the Success Club points that I needed to hit, that I stayed eligible for that trip. And then after that trip, I went MIA. I did not do anything Beachbody. All I did was run and promote running, and that was it until I finished the Chicago Marathon in October. And then in October, I ran the Chicago Marathon and I finished, and I was like, I love running so much, but my body is just, it's not taking it. And it's because I wasn't doing any strength training. All I was doing was running and nothing else. And I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't doing anything. And I was like, when I was in those Beachbody programs, when I did the 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme, and I was following a meal plan and I was doing my workouts, I had great results. Like I just felt good overall. And I incorporated those into my running. And so in October, I went back and I started Shift Shop, and I started with just the meal plan and just the workouts. And that's all I did. I didn't even touch coaching. At the time, I was actually contemplating closing my coach's account. Emily and Jacqueline are the only reason why I didn't close it, because they kept showing up every single day. And so I decided to show up. I posted in an accountability group that I had created, and no one else was posting in it. It was just me, and it was just for my own accountability. And then from there, a couple of the girls started joining me in November, and I asked my Instagram followers, I was like, hey, if I showed you guys some of my workouts that I'm doing, would you guys be interested? And of course, all of them were like, yes, please show us, please show us. And so I started just every day, just making sure that I filmed myself working out, even though like I didn't feel confident. I hated the way that I looked. I wasn't feeling good, but I just showed up and continued to do that through November and December. And then in December, I made like one small post like, hey, if anybody wants to join me, you can. And I hit Success Club 4 off of that. And then in January, I was like, I told Stephanie, I was like, I'm going to have this business pay for my honeymoon. I did not know I did not know how it was going to happen, you guys. Like legitimately at that point, I had made, I think altogether with Beachbody, like $2,600 in the entire 2 years at that point that I had been a coach, or 3 years at that point that I had been a coach. I was like, don't know how in the hell I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it. And it was kind of at that moment that I realized, well, you got to figure your shit out, and you've got to be consistent. You can't slack. You need to do it. And so that's when I just started, just being vulnerable and just talking like how I would want someone to talk to me, and not coming across of like, hey, join me, join my group. Like, this is what I'm all about. And more so like, hey, this is what's going on in my wedding. This is what's going on in my life. Oh yeah. And here's the sweaty selfie. I'm still working out every day. Watch my stories if you really want to see that part of my life. But that's honestly all I've been doing. And then just knowing that it's okay for someone to tell me no, and that this isn't for everybody. Like, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. And so just really keep that in mind. Don't get discouraged, because there was a long time that when someone would tell me no, you guys, I would get so discouraged. And because I come from a sales background, like I have sales experience with working in retail banking, I would ask them, like, why are you telling me no? Like, what's your objection to me? Because that's what I've been taught. And I was treating this so much like a sales business, and that's not what it's about. And so if you can really have the mind shift and have the it's okay mindset going into it, then you're going to find that you're going to have great success, because you're just going to continue to invite, and you're going to use those no's to fuel your fire and to just keep pushing forward.
That's awesome. Yeah, no. I mean, and that's why I wanted you to share that, because, I think there's there can be a cycle in coaching, which is like, you come in, there's excitement, kind of sometimes people fall off, and then they're just like, well, can I still get back in? And you can. It's just kind of building that momentum of doing the vital activities every single day, and it's just one of those things. What's beautiful about this business, guys, is that you get to, you can set the pace of how you want to grow and how aggressive you want to be. And if you want to really see some potential growth, especially financial growth, these things of, reaching out to people, you have to be doing, especially now. The day of attraction marketing is, and what I call attraction marketing is putting up a post and just waiting for people to respond to you, is gone. That's how we used to do things back when I started. And so that's old. We have to now be going out and building these relationships and connecting with people. One thing I do differently, and thank you for sharing your tracking system. Every single one of you should have some form of tracking. If you don't, or if you're not tracking, I'm going to tell you, you're going to lose people. They're going to slip through the cracks. It doesn't have to be on Excel. It doesn't have to be on a Google Sheets. It can be on notebook. I know Chelsea, she was here before, but I know.
Where did Chelsea go? Because her system is like.
Yeah, she uses a bullet journal. She uses a bullet journal to help her to help her kind of keep track of her contacts. And it's very similar. It's similar. The whole idea, the whole premise is name, initial contact, second contact, third contact, whatever, however many you want to have, invite, follow-ups. Did I send them the script? You get to kind of delineate, but you need a checking system so that you know who you need to follow up with. If not, you're going to lose people. And in the beginning, I didn't have any type of system. And so there's many different ways. You have to find what's going to work best for you. And then the only other thing that I wanted to add is that, so Chelsea, I mean, not Chelsea, I don't know why I'm thinking Chelsea. Ariel, because we were just talking about Chelsea. Ariel, you kind of, once someone says no, or they don't, or they kind of ignore you on that second go, you kind of take them off your list. I personally don't. I don't take them off. So just kind of telling you guys, Luke and we do not take them off our list. If anything, we will follow up with them in a more prolonged time. So we may follow up with them 3 months from now, or even more quarterly, and just say, hey, how are you? Just wanted to touch base. I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to connect to see if now's a better time for you to get started. We don't give up on people unless they give us that hard, actual no. And that has helped us a lot. We get so many people who come back, and that's why we get people from 2015, from 2016, because of that persistent, but again, we're not following up with them every week. It's like, hey, I'm going to follow up with them in 3 months now, in 6 months, and just kind of protracting. So that's what I do, which is a little different.
I was going to say, I can add to that a little bit, because that was a little bit of something on what I was doing today. So, I was just scrolling through, and if I had seen someone like today, we had talked, and then there was like nothing, and the last time we talked was in February, then I sent him a follow-up today, and it was just like, hey, I just want to see how things are going, but I didn't add them into my like follow-up list, just because that just gets way too overwhelming for me. But I do, like, in months like right now where we're at the 12th of March and I'm at Success Club 4, for me, it's a little bit of a panic attack and a freak out. Like, I need to get my butt in gear sort of panic freak out. But so that's what I started doing, is I just started going through my Instagram, and it's easy to scroll through Instagram message and just click on the message back. And I went through and I did that today, and I actually had a couple girls message me back from that. So that is a good point. I guess I shouldn't say that they're like completely out of the picture, but it is like a good 2, 3, 4 months that I then would follow up with them.
Right. Any other questions, guys? One thing I was, and as you guys are kind of thinking and getting and kind of still working through kind of what you're doing in your system, just realizing that it's, small daily actions, small daily activities every single day, and really, staying consistent in those activities is what's going to be key. So.
Oh, I guess I'll add something really quick, Stephanie, to this, because I don't think, Molly, are you on this call? Is she on here?
No, she's not.
Okay, I want to add something just really quick, because Molly was getting super frustrated at the beginning of the year, you guys, with she was doing the activities. She was showing up and she was doing them every day, and she was messaging me, and she was just like, Ariel, why? Like, what's going on? I'm doing all the activities. And I was like, just don't freak out. I was like, just stay consistent, keep doing it. And now, like, she hit Success Club 6 this month and she killing it. And so just remember that. I wish she was here because I totally would have asked her to like share a little bit more about that. But just remember to stay consistent. And I know I say it in like every single one of my posts, you guys, but that's like, it's the key. It's such a big key of this business is to stay consistent.
You have to believe that the success will come. The minute you don't believe and you stop the activities, you're hurting yourself in that momentum that you're building. And like Molly, like for Molly, this is you guys have seen Molly and she's very active and she has an amazing transformation. You guys see that she is product of the product, has an amazing transformation, has been coaching for a long time. And this is her first month of Success Club, which is a big deal for her. So keeping that in mind, that she's been with us for a while, acting and participating and just staying true. I remember even Courtney who was on here in the beginning, when she started as a coach, she also needed to build that momentum, plant those seeds that and allow it to kind of harvest and grow. So really thinking about that. And then also, as you're kind of growing, you're going to go through these cycles of up and down. There are months where it's really hard for me to get people to buy a challenge pack. And so maybe I help them with other things, other products, and I'm hitting my volume. But because my objective goal every month is Success Club, I've been now like 56 months now in Success Club, every single month for 56 months. It's just, even at least Success Club 5, that, it's just, that's my objective measure. But even there's some months where it's really, really tough. I'm at Success Club 2 myself, even though we're getting engagement. So it just takes time, but it's just believing that, at the end of the day, it's going to all follow through and people are going to come through and they're going to order and they're going to, get involved. So Blair, did you have a question?
She just typed, do you?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you like?
I think I'm not sure. Anyone else have questions or what is it like, any questions around inviting or anything that really makes you nervous about inviting, or you're just like, or you just know you're not as consistent, or you're just kind of following up with like 3 people, which is not really going to do much. To be honest, it's just, this is unfortunately one of those things where the more people you talk to, the more conversations you have, the more maybes and no's and yeses that you're getting is going to benefit you. And so, if you're doing small numbers, it's going to be difficult, and that's just kind of, being very honest. I have the same people follow me and no interest. And so go ahead, Ariel.
I was just going to say, with your engagement and with your followers on Instagram, how are you following people? Like, are you just going, because I know for a long time I was kind of having the same problem, and it was because I was just going through onto someone's Instagram page, and because they said that they like Disney, I was sitting and following everybody on their page, and that necessarily really wasn't meeting my avatar. That was meeting like a teeny tiny piece of my avatar. So I was losing a lot of engagement, and I was losing just followers because they weren't interested in what I was talking about. And so when you're following people and when you're having people follow you, are they meeting your avatar or your niche market?
See, that's can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like I'm in the medical field, and I'm also a runner, and I also have thyroid disease. So I think like that's kind of my niche, but it's like kind of the same people who've been following me for a long time. Like, they're very consistent, but like they just don't really want any part of what I do. And like, I don't get any really new followers. So I don't know. I don't really know.
When you're with your followers, are you reaching out and following others? So are you like, so for me, for instance, so I go through and I have like 6 or 7 chunks of hashtags that I use. And so what I'll do is I'll just click on one of the hashtags. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Instagram now has like a hashtag story. And then they also have the top pictures of the hashtag, and then they have the most recent. So if you actually go over to the most recent, it's going to show you people who are posting that hashtag in real time. And so I'll go through and I'll start following those people who are posting that day, and I'll follow them, and that's where I'll start to like and comment on it. So are you, when you're saying that you're not getting new followers, are you reaching out? Because it's hard to actually get followers based off your hashtags. You really have got to do a little bit more reaching out, is what I'm finding, especially with this business, because with the runners market, it's really easy for the runners market to just put a whole bunch of runners hashtags, and runners all like to follow each other because they want to see what running shoe you're wearing and what running watch and shorts you have on. But for this business in particular, I'm finding that you need to reach out a little bit more. And so I would recommend trying to like reach out and like and comment on others' pictures that are kind of in your niche market, and maybe follow a few of them, and then have them kind of, they'll start to replicate and do the same thing.
All right. Yeah. So I'm not doing that. So I think I need to work on that. I need to comment more and maybe like and follow different people. I'm definitely not doing that as much probably as I could.
And just kind of, choosing the hashtags appropriate to your niche. So like you said, thyroid and any of those other metabolic kind of diseases, PCOS. And
I would say too, with your runner, just because you mentioned that you're a runner, be cautious of your running hashtags. Just so I would focus more so on your medical field and thyroid, and then like have like 5 or 6 in your 25 or 30 chunk of hashtags. I would have like 5 to 6 of your runner, just because you're going to find that it's going to be a lot of health and fitness people that you're going to end up talking to. And they're going to be like, yeah, that sounds great, but I'm going to stick to my training schedule.
Right.
Yeah. Everyone has to be actively working on building their Instagram account. And so it has to be something that has to be reached out. They won't just find us. We have to go out and follow people and look at the hashtags and just engage with them, and then kind of wait to see if they follow back. So kind of setting little small goals for yourself of small growth goals. Maybe you want to increase by 50 this month, or increase by 100 this month, whatever your goal is for your followers. Set goals for yourself. And you need more hashtags too. Yeah. So I would say, are you saying you need more hashtags, or you're advising Denise that she needs more hashtags?
Because I didn't know you could have 30. I don't think I have 30 hashtags.
Yeah. So you do 30 hashtags, guys. So different blocks of 30. And then also one piece of advice. I know Chelsea Pearson, when I heard her call in the last couple, like 3-4 months, she breaks up her hashtag. Again, it's not as easy as just picking any hashtag. So she'll break up her hashtag, and I believe she does about like 15 to 20, and like 5 of them have a certain reach. So I don't know if you guys know that whenever you click on a hashtag, you can see how many people have used that hashtag. So for example, if you have a hashtag and it only has been used by 50,000 people, that's a very small group of people in the whole grand scheme of things. You have hashtags that have been reused for like 1 million times, on Instagram. And so you want to pick hashtags from different kind of markets. So I believe hers was like from up like 5 that go up to 50,000, 5 between 50 and 250,000, and then 5 from 250,000 and above. So those numbers are how many people have used those, the hashtags, how popular they are. Do you guys understand that? So it's like, if you, like, for example, hashtag fitness has millions and millions of people who have used that hashtag. Hashtag HYP wellness has like 10 people on it right now. So it's a very new hashtag. So it's a new hashtag that I'm using, for example, but I'm just giving you an example. So just, really playing with your hashtags in that way as well. And yes, you can have up to 30. 30 is the max. And so you can have up to 30 on your Instagram. And so having different blocks would be really helpful. You can have a block related to, or you can mix them. You can have a block and have it be half fitness, half healthcare, and half kind of metabolic thyroid hashtag-ish. And the best way to look for hashtags are by finding other popular people and looking at their hashtags. That is the best way to find hashtags.
I don't remember who I was talking to, but someone on the team asked me the other day, they're like, hey, how do I find hashtags? Because I'm getting a lot of the same interests, and I feel like I'm using the same hashtags. And I was like, honestly, go click on your hashtag, see where some of the other, like on the top, what pictures and what people are on the top part of that hashtag, and then go look through some of their pictures and find some of their hashtags, because there were wedding hashtags, you guys, that I didn't even know existed, and they have like 3 million hashtags, and I was like, this is such a thing, like, okay, I'm gonna use it. But yeah, like, it's really easy to find, and you have to manage your time a little bit, because you'll get sucked in and 3 hours will pass and you'll be like, well, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Any other questions related to, just kind of inviting and then one thing I will say, guys, is that I think someone had asked about, so I never, and I'll leave it with this, our job is to present the information, okay? I never try to convince someone to come with me. If they tell me it is not a good price point for them right now, I do not try to convince them. I say, great, not a problem. Would you be more interested in this? If they say, no, I really can't. So I say, not a problem. Would you like me to follow up with you in the future? And I usually get a yes to that. But it is not my job to convince. So when people are like, how do you handle objections? I honestly don't. They tell me that if they have that objection, then it's not my job to try to convince them otherwise. At least that's how I've always done it. That's how I kind of approach it. And I'm just here to present, and I just say, okay, not a problem. I'll be here when you're ready. And I keep, posting my stuff, sharing my journey, sharing my transformations. And then when they get back to me a month later, 2 months later, 3 months, 6 months, a year, I have one person now who's, she's talked to me like 3 times. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm like, hey, how are you? When are you going to join us? Like, literally, that's what I said. Because at that point, when you have conversations and people who are just coming back, people who are like, yeah, I'm interested. And then they never, you just be direct with them, right? You'd be like, girl, what are you waiting for? Let's get you started. Let's get you going. What's going on? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm ready. So don't be afraid to also, be playful with them in that sense of what you would say, right? If you've talked to them several times, you've presented things several times to them, just cut straight to the point. You don't need to, be having this long talk all over again to sugarcoat things. So your time is precious. So keep that in mind, especially if you have people who've been following you for a long time. Anyway. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ariel.
Of course.
All right, girl. Well, I will talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Enjoy Mexico if I don't see you before then.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to be stalking you guys like crazy.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I need to stop recording.